Hi Virgo. How's it going? So, Virgo, I'm so sorry that I did not tell you my story last time. My story, just to get it out of the way. Actually, no. Hold that thought. That story will be told in a different space because I don't want to pollute this space with all my personal stuff like that. I mean, it's cool to have some anecdotal stuff to just be able to communicate, and then there's just, stuff you don't really care about. So that stuff is all now being moved to a different channel. I'll talk about that later. So, Virgo, what can I talk about as it relates to you that I know of and that's been going on? Well, you're definitely talking to your exes. I am certainly one of them. And I was thinking about Virgos the other day because I interviewed my nephew, who's 13, for my other channel, so you can see why, there is a sense of people taking Virgos personally. Like when a Virgo does something, we take it and we say, oh, he or she did that because of how they feel about me. And I think it's really valid to show a Virgo at a very young age, and so you can see, oh, no, he's already behaving like that. He's never, had a girlfriend yet or anything. So sometimes we attribute Virgo's tendencies to this sense of being broken, as if something happened to them and that's why they are the way they are, or there is some, referential something or other in their past that you can go to and pinpoint and say, this is why this person. And my reason for interviewing him was just so you can see that that's not the case. Their angst is, your angst is built in. It is the angst of the shy. It's proven that shy children are more intelligent. Of course, when you can observe and make sense of the world more than most people, you can see through them. And when you can see through people, it's really isolating. You can feel very alone. So just today, my ex said to me, don't worry about hurting my feelings. He's a Virgo. Don't worry about hurting my feelings. I have no emotions. I work off the back brain only. And instead of texting him back, I actually voice messaged him back because sometimes it's like the stuff he says is Virgo. Can we talk for a second? Do you guys say things sometimes? I just want to know. I want you guys to leave me comment. I think I know already because of my Virgo moon, because I do this, but I just want you guys to interact with me a little here. Do you guys sometimes say things that are otherwise true, but they're specifically not true when it comes to the person you're talking about? And that's exactly why you do it. So that person will be like, what? That is the farthest, have we met? What? It's like, okay. It's like this. Here's my question. Do you get to know people really well and kind of know their quirks and know what makes them tick, and then turn around and say things to belie that you don't know them at all? Why do you do that? I mean, I do it too, so I want to know why you do it, so then I can know why I do it. Because I do it. I know I do it. But I don't know why I do it. Is it just mischievous? I mean, it certainly keeps my attention. I was like, what? Back brain, no emotion? Okay, do you want to hear my response? Because it was money. Okay, my response was, Okay, but the back brain is where all true emotion lies. That's where it comes from. So actually what it is that you're all emotion, right? And it's overwhelming to be so emotional. This is the secret, right? This is the dirty secret of Virgos. It's not just his secret, it's all of you. Anyway, you feel too much, and you know what? The past like 4 years, 3-4 years, it's been hard, man. Whoa, it's been hard. Like, money didn't seem like it was gonna let up. No matter what you try, no matter how much effort you put into it, there is this sense of consistently being defeated and being mired in delay and obstacle, and just, you know, putting your shoulder to it and trying to push that boulder out of the way and feeling like Sisyphus, feeling like no matter how many times you push that boulder up, it just rolls back down and you start again. And it's been like 3 years. And, you know, the most frustrating part is that this period that you've been going through, this period where you thought you were going to have such great financial success, you sacrificed a lot to have that. You sacrificed your ideal. I mean, I know I'm a brunette, but come on. Do you love me? Do you not love me? I haven't slept very well. Sorry about that. You sacrificed something, a job, a trip, a person, a relationship, a home. You sacrificed something for this period that you thought would be a period of growth, these 3-4 years. You sacrificed something really important to you. Let's put it that way. And things were supposed to move, and things were supposed to happen, and you were supposed to hit that mark, and then the next one, and then the next one, and then the next one, and then we go up level by level by level by level, and, you know, we're building walls of straw, and then brick, and then stone, and then all of a sudden, you know, Clash of Clans is the funnest game ever. Accomplish, 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 accomplish. Feel good, build up that self-esteem. This is the Virgo way. This is why people don't understand why Virgos have so much self-esteem. But I have figured it out. Self-esteem is a measure of how well you feel you can handle any given situation. Okay, so high self-esteem, for example, very high self-esteem is anything could happen and I will handle it. Very low self-esteem is I can't really handle any situation at all. Someone else needs to be in my life to do that for me. Okay, so why do an uncanny number of Virgos, why do Virgos, the majority of Virgos, exhibit such high self-esteem? Because it is something that's very much associated with your sign. You guys are associated with being confident, almost overconfident, to the point of being cocky. Like Virgo men are seen as being very cocky and like overconfident, and thus, you know, stubborn because of that. But just that sense of self, you know, where you within yourself are comfortable being alone, don't need to run into relationships, don't really make relationships the center of your life, very much like self-sustaining person, right? So that's very much the Virgo archetype, if you will, okay? So why are you guys like that? Well, I figured it out. So self-esteem, because it is a measure of how well you think you can handle a situation, okay? When you do things, even small things, where you accomplish, example, making a list of 5 things you need to do and checking each thing off the list. Example, playing a video game where you move up the levels by accomplishing a certain number of tasks or accumulating a certain number of coins or something like that. every time you do one of these things that on their own may seem pretty banal. I mean, what's revolutionary about a checklist? What's so self-esteem enhancing about Grand Theft Auto? Well, actually, a lot, because what you're doing is you are giving your subconscious this constant directive of accomplishment. You're accomplishing little things, and Virgos love to accomplish little and larger things. There's a lot of joy and satisfaction in a quiet, contained way of getting things done and doing them really, really well. That is your nature. And so that sort of nature where you are constantly accomplishing things also must be noted to the best of your ability, with the finesse of, my ex, made us fold the fitted sheets, for real. I was like, but why do we have to do this? We're the only two people who live here. Why? I just wrote, let me just do my thing, where I just do the thing and put it in the, and he was like, no, there's a way to do this. We should know it. It's like, why? I don't understand. Stuff like that. You guys like doing stuff, but it's not just this kind of Aries, push through it, get it done, halfway, throw it to the wind, just do it. You guys are nah, man, I did that, and I did it well, and it looks nice in here, and I did, this is my Virgo moon that you're seeing. You guys want to see my swing? I have a thing that I'm learning. You know how you can hang from a rope and dance from a rope? Anyway, so it's my hobby. So what you're seeing, this is my Virgo moon. This is everything having to be polished and cleaned and stuff all the time, and all the lines having to be very clean. This gives us satisfaction. These small things, especially in our home, these bring us a sense of self-esteem, because we're constantly checking boxes that, yes, on their own, and especially to people who don't understand you, may seem really lame. Why do you keep doing that? For example, yo, my ex gets really hyped to play what's it called? Where you throw the ball and you drink the beer. Beer pong. Because it's a sense of, and when I first saw this, I was like, what in the fucking world is this? Is this some college shit? What are we doing here? And then I realized it was the joy of I got a great shot. I'm good at this, I was good at basketball, and I'm good at this, and this makes me feel good to land that fucking shot. It may not seem like this is doing you huge amounts of good, but actually a sustained accumulation of little achievements does lead to a great boost in self-esteem. And if you've always been that type of person who enjoys accomplishment, then by now you've got pretty high self-esteem if you're an adult, right? So here we are. Right? Very high self-esteem. And when you have very high self-esteem, one of the traps that you fall into is that if you do something wrong, or if you make the wrong decision, or for example, these past 3 or 4 years where things have just been really hard, okay? So what happens when you have really high self-esteem is, one, you don't get too demoralized. Sure, you feel bad. And you go through periods of oh, why isn't it working? Why is everything against me? Blah, 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 okay? But the other thing that happens is that one of the traps can be a certain arrogance. Yes, a certain arrogance. And that arrogance has everything to do with, I decided this, I made a decision about this, and that's it. I'm not wrong. I'm not revisiting that. I'm not that was the right thing to do, and that's what that is. Because I have high self-esteem, and I have thought this out, and I am just fine on my own, or I don't need that job, I don't need that person, I don't need that ideal, whatever, I don't need that. I am quite capable on my own, and the thing that I have decided is the right thing. So here we are, 3-4 years later, and the thing that you decided, that you swore was the right thing, it didn't get you the results that you wanted. You wanted to sacrifice something. There is always this virginal, you have to remember that virginal motif really goes with the sacrificial archetype as well, right? Like the virginal archetype has, what do I mean? I mean, the virginal archetype does have that sacrificial quality to it, right? There's always that tie-in. So Virgos do like the idea of sacrificing for their accomplishments. Okay, let's tie it together. So here we are. You feel like you gave something up. Something big, something important. And you didn't get back what you wanted for it. You thought that you would give this thing up, and it hurts so bad, and it costs so much to do it. And you were sure that the payback was going to be financial success or freedom, or, the sort of rise that you had pictured. And from there, you could go back and revisit these sacrifices and say, hey, maybe I made a mistake. Are you still willing to be with me? Or whatever your version of it was, right? And then these 3-4 years have just sucked, for lack of a better way of putting it, it's just not been like that. It hasn't been that rise. It hasn't been that easy financial road that you envisioned because you had the skill and the idea, and it seemed like a no-brainer. Just work, and it'll work itself out. But you did the work, and nothing happened, and it's because you were blocked. So, as petty as this may sound, what you should have done was not sacrifice that thing. Not that we can go back and change anything, but what you should have done is not sacrifice that thing and worked through your issues instead. But that's okay. That's how you guys learn. You guys only learn from making very painful mistakes and then being dragged by the universe, kicking and screaming, to the truth, where you have to then say, oh my God, I'm so sorry. It takes a lot. I have that in my moon. I will apologize to... I'll apologize to my parents whenever they would like me to. But I find it very hard to apologize because it denotes that my judgment was wrong. And that's what this is about here. It's about having to revisit your judgment. It happens. You were wrong about that thing. You were. And why? Why have there been so many obstacles? Why have you put your shoulder to so many boulders and not been able to move them, or move them only to have another appear? Because there were things blocking you. And now those things aren't blocking you anymore. And you know what? As much as maybe, Virgo, you don't want to hear this, the first thing that you have to take care of here as you come out of this blockage is this water here. These are your emotions, that person's emotions, the emotions connected to that thing, that, whatever that thing was, that lover, that career move, whatever it was, you need to address it, because now that the blockage is gone, things are moving. March is a month of movement. March, march, chalna, chalo, let's go, chalna, right? March, walk. It is a month of movement, and the movement here, after a period of really being held financially and making some, excuse me, my nose is really itchy, and making some quite heavy decisions to pursue your dreams, your career, aspirations, and not having it work out. And now those doors, those gates being opened, and you are told, run. You can run now. You can go now. You can move. But can you? Can you? Where are you moving to? Where are we going? Now it's open. Now it's time. Now you can do it. That's what I said. That's why I said, just because the doors are open, and it may irritate you, but the first thing you need to do is you need to deal with these emotions before you can have any forward movement. I'm sorry, Virgo, I know you want to get going and you want to make that money and you want to make it happen and you want to be out here. I get it. But take a page out of the Gemini book. You don't get to be out here like that until you do. You got to pull these swords out, and you got to do it one by one, and probably each one of them equates to an apology. Either one that you deserve, that you must get from someone, or one that you have to get. Give. You guys exhaust me. I'm sorry I yell at you too. I don't mean to. I don't do this with anybody else, but I feel like you guys are so hard-headed about certain things. And this is, I'm telling you, let me get 2 more cards on the table and then I'll show you these cards. I'm telling you, you can't do that this month, because what you're doing, let me explain it to you. You're setting up this month for what the rest of the year is going to look like in terms of what energetic seeds you plant. So in your case, it's not exactly like that. In your case, it's not what energetic seeds you plant. It's what things you have to revisit and look at and say, look, I need to take this sword out of my back. That wasn't actually my fault. I need to take this sword out of my back. That wasn't actually what she did or what he did. That was a miscommunication, or that was just a mistake on my part, or that was my bad, or that was their bad. But this is about forgiveness. This is about being magnanimous. This is about being open. This is about revisiting things that you thought were set in stone and saying, you know what, maybe I was wrong. So when you have all that going on, guess what happens? That ideal that you want, when I tell you that your exes are coming back, it's not just me. It's not just me. I'm going to text you later because I found something that I think you need to see. But it's not just me. It's everybody's ex that's coming back. All the Virgos. Geminis too. So, with me, it's the Virgo moon Gemini. Oh my God, it's so much. Okay, and then, so now we have the King of Wands come up. And very interesting that this came up, because I wanted to talk about this. I'm so glad this came up, because I almost forgot, because earlier I was like, oh, what was that thing that was gold, and I wanted to talk to Virgo about it, and then I forgot. So here it is, King of Wands. Okay, so for me, when the King of Wands comes up, it's always about the dad, okay? So I was watching something today. It's in Hindi, so I don't, in Urdu. Well, I think he is speaking Hindi. I think his name is Farid Khan. He's a comedian. And he's really cool. And he's talking about how, he used to really dislike his father because his father made him do things that he didn't want, and he was critical and, all this other stuff. And he really felt at one point in his adolescence like he really hated his dad. And then after a while, as they got older and he spent more time with them, even though it was stressful for him, he realized that after that initial however many minutes you have to be around them, where you got the father's venom, and maybe this is just South Asians, but I think it's all stern dads. After that, another side of them emerged, and you could see that they really need you. Your parents really need you. And they rely on you for a sense of life energy. And you should be giving it to them. And the way that you give it to them is that you spend time with them, even if it's hard, because you want to learn more about yourself. And you want to learn why you are the way you are. And the only person that really has the answer to that is your parent. And Virgo, in a lot of ways, your relationship with your dads can be difficult. If they're not a delicate sign, it can be hard. And it can be damaging. But, you know, this about your dad and more like encompassing would be just your childhood and what you were exposed to, what you were made to think about yourself, your particular level of what you can achieve, right? Because that's what we're talking about with this month, is about financially things being unshackled and you being able to achieve those things that you haven't been able to nail down, right? So how does your childhood and what you were taught about yourself back then, how do you make peace with that? How do you revisit that and push forward through it now instead of it still being a barrier? This is like, you know, you've come to the last barriers. Let's put it that way. You've come to the end, and at the end you face your 5-year-old self that was imposed upon by this person. And what do you say to that 5-year-old self? What, at the end, when you get to the finish line and all you have to do is push past that last thing, what do you say to that child version of yourself that endured things that were too much? How do you push past that to greater levels of achievement when that kid is convinced that he or she can't do it? Because this person convinced them. And how do you not screw up when you find exactly what you want because this person convinced you that you can't have anything anyway? Or life did, or some terrible authoritative, relationship did. So when the great thing came along, you ran from it anyway because there were more important things to do, except you've been running around chasing your tail trying to get those really important things done, and they're not getting done, and you don't feel very good. Because it's time. It's time to finally admit those things that we don't want, that are messy. I always want everything to be clean. But love is messy. That Virgo in me is so strong. I really want things to be like handled. Take care of this. Let's do this. If we're doing this, let's do this. Let's take care of this. Let's handle this. But love just isn't like that. You can't handle it. It rolls you. You can't handle it. And it's not clean. And it's not easy. And this is real. Are you crazy for not wanting to give this entire situation, to relive this and find out what's really going on, to rethink this decision that you made, that you were solid about? Do you really, really want to get these swords out of your back though? I think the Virgos feel like as long as they don't dip their foot in the pool, that they're healing. Oh, that thing hurt. I wasn't very good at it. I made a lot of mistakes. Okay, well, I'll just stay out of that pool then. I don't know how to swim in that particular pool. I didn't do very well at swimming in that particular pool. I just stay out of that pool. And hopefully while I stay out of that pool, I'll just get magically better at being in there. So the next time I go in that pool, which you inevitably will. Oh, you decided to show up in your own reading. Hi. Hi. I'm wearing the pants right now, the Virgo pants. They're really cool. It's your outcome card. That's why I've been shuffling for all that time, for 30 minutes, because you didn't want to give it up. Still don't. Indecisive as hell. Like, no, we're not giving you an answer. I don't want an answer. I figured you guys out. I don't want an answer. You know what I want you guys to do? That's way more difficult. I want you guys to do what you want. I need you guys to not get stuck now that you're unshackled. What do I mean? Let's look. What do we have? The Empress, Justice, King of Cups, the Chariot, Ten of Swords, King of Wands, Two of Pentacles, and of course, cameo by yours truly. All right, Virgo. Sometimes when we have been shackled for very long, especially money-wise, that just becomes our dominant energy about money. And if we have sacrificed a lot for it, and if we had decided things, really, really important things because of it, you know, moving, cutting people off, breaking up with people, leaving business partners, changing professions, changing living situations, if we did drastic things based on these sacrifices that we made, things that were very important to us, precious to us even, then when the energy is let loose and everything is going, the cups are flowing over now, and you become capable of using this, you know, new energy, right? Because of this unbounding that's happening, okay? Then there is the fear of paralysis. And Virgo, I think that's why you come up here. That's why I think this is here. Because it's to remind you that even though you want to move, even though you've been waiting and you've sacrificed so much for this unbounded moving forward now and getting your money and getting your life together, even though you've been waiting forever and you should be very happy about the movement, you are paralyzed by the freedom of it. Just like you guys can be paralyzed by the freedom of being able to leave your cave when you want, but you don't. Sure, you have your reasons and you have this lamp and you're doing stuff. I'm not saying you're not doing stuff, but I'm saying that you can use the good stuff in a bad way. So now, you know, you have this ability to move and move forward, but first you must look at these things. Because if you move forward with these swords in your back, I'm going to tell you right now, Virgo, you're not going to get very far. Yes, the energy is there now. You know, the shackles are off. The money energy will move. But if you think that it's going to move fast or far, oh my God, I'm so sorry. What in the world? I'm sorry, nobody calls me. I like have no idea why anyone would ever call me. But if you think that you're going to be able to move fast or far with this going on, without going back and looking at this and changing your mind, without getting this person back into your life or fixing this situation and realizing that you unnecessarily sacrificed something that was really important and that you're going to die like this, if you get that, oh my God, sorry, dude. If you get all that, if you understand, okay, and this is not just a person, this is the thing that you loved. Like, you were in love. Like, you have to look at all this if you are going to move forward. And what else do you have to look at? Because it wasn't just this person, it's also this. You have to look at this now. And why? Because this indecision What's the point of having, let me tell it to you like this, what's the point of having really high self-esteem, accomplishing lots of small things to acquire a great result, and be self-confident and be charming and be attractive and be all the things that everyone wants to be and wants to date? What's the point of being all that if you can't make up your mind and have it and taste it and own it? What's the point? There's delayed gratification, and then there's just like, you can't stay in the cave forever. I know you like it in there, but the world is moving and you are getting miserable sitting in there, in so many words. So revisit, rethink, handle your business, move in a positive direction, take these swords out of your back, go look back into your childhood. What have you been made to think about yourself? How does that color your money situation? Because now your money starts to move. Which way is it gonna move? I see you having a lot of fun with money. I see money getting easier. I see all of a sudden money getting easier. But at the same time, I see you on the verge of screwing up. I'm not even gonna lie. I see you on the verge of screwing up. I see the 2 scales here. I see the wishy-washy of the King of Cups. I see the 2 going in different directions. I see this general overall how you still get when you don't get what you want. I don't know, Virgo. Just because all the bounds are set loose and you have all the energy to accomplish all the things, will you actually take them and do something with them? Or will you just hop from one foot to the other like this dude? You tell me. See, that's not so bad. It wasn't really like yelling at you. I was like super nice at the beginning. Okay, so now let's talk about my channel where all this other stuff we're going to talk about. We are going to talk about, well, so okay, let me just tell you what the next video is going to be about. So those videos are going to be mid-monthly, okay? So these videos come out at the beginning of the month, and then whatever comments, whatever people are asking, whatever, you know, comes up. Like last month, you guys were like, you didn't tell us the story. So all that sort of stuff will be addressed mid-monthly in those videos on the other channel that will be linked in the description. And there will be all kinds of other talks. So the first one, the video that's already up, is on breakups. The next one that's going to go up is about the holographic universe. So the one that went up, the videos are mixed, right? So the one on breakups is also about what I use on my skin and what makeup I use. And the one that's going to go up about the holographic universe will also be about like how it applies to manifestation and what I do with my hair. I know those things seem unrelated, but they will be somehow during the talk, and it will be fantastic. So you can go and subscribe to that channel if you want to. The description will be below, and then you can reach me. I'll leave my email address. And also, Cynthia made me this carnelian mala as a gift, as a surprise gift, and just sent it to me. And it is super dope, and it is and she put like a nazar eye on it, and it's beautiful, and I feel so honored to have it. And if you would like something from Cynthia, I will leave her. Oh my god, did I just flash you guys? I'm so sorry. Just don't mind that. That was just my bra anyway, whatever. I will leave her description. I will leave her website. I can't believe it just said, I'm sorry. No, it was just, I'm wearing a shirt under this shirt. That's what you saw. Such a lie. I will leave her info below. And if you would like something from her, I just feel the need to say this. I'm very protective of my peeps, right? Like, I'm very protective of you guys. I'm very protective of her. So if you would like something from her, please understand that this work that she is doing, it's not just about putting some stones together. There's a lot of energy that goes into it. There's a lot of energetic work that goes into it and a lot of time. So if you would like something from her, please let her know, and then please be patient with her. It might take her a month to get back to you because she is super flooded with work. And she works at her own pace because, like I said, each piece is like built with her energy. So you are really waiting for a super superior product, and it is worth the wait. So if you would like something from Cynthia, please just be super relaxed and easy with her about it. Okay, Virgo, well, that's all. I will see you guys in April. I love you guys.